What's up, Panthers Nation? We're back today with another video. Keep pounding! Mr. Matt Rhule has been hired as our new head coach from Baylor. And I gotta say, this guy is the most entertaining speaker as a head coach as I've seen since Dabo Swinney at Clemson. I mean, this guy is ridiculous on the podium. He answered questions like it was just nothing in that first presser. I loved it. I loved it, every bit of it. And that speech he gave just made me want to run through a wall, guys. It really did. That got me so excited. Oh my goodness. Man, let's get into this. So, when Tepper was interviewing him, he pretty much said that he could have talked to him forever. For hours. And that to me signifies that, as casual a conversation as that is, as soon as it switched from interview mode to we need to hire this guy mode from Marty Hernley's perspective, I think, that was pretty much that sealed the deal. Because I guarantee you, if he went up to New York, Gettleman would have hired him on the spot once they got done with that interview up there in New York. Since he had already worked with Tom Coughlin up in Giants country already, Tepper just said, enough's enough, we need to hire this guy now before he gets on that plane. And he made the correct decision. So let's get into this presser a little bit. I want to get into some aspects because this guy's got all the qualities you need in a head coach. All of them. So, starting out, he wants to work hard every day with his staff to make this team better. Every day. Tirelessly. If that's not enough to motivate you right there and tell you that this guy is the right hire, I don't know what to tell you. That right there is a great starting point. Great building block. His family is his first and priority and most important thing to him. Excellent. Because that is what we value in Carolina. We value family, we value fans, we value the community, we value the players, we value everybody, and we treat them as family. So that right there, excellent. Yes, that's what we're looking for. So we had a few talented players in the room that were former players. Julius Peppers, as well as Steve Smith, and that just made all the difference to me. That he appreciated those players and what they did for us in the past, and he really recognizes that talent and those skills. And he loves the game. He has a passion for the game. Always has. That's always a plus. When you've got that fire, man, you've got that competitive fire and that love for the game, that's always a plus. He wants to build a team that plays hard and tough. That right there, awesome. Awesome, that's what we've been needing. That is what we've been needing for so long. All the lazy plays, all the laziness and unpreparedness, all the undisciplined plays. Matt Rhule says he's going to change all of that. And I believe it. I believe it by that speech right there. He wants to represent everything properly in the Carolinas. The community, the team, everything He wants it represented properly. That's awesome. Ah, man. This just keeps going. This keeps going. He values the process, the long-term process. And y'all know already, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm a long-term process guy. You know I'm a long-term future guy. So that immediately hit home with me. I loved it. So he has relentless preparation. Relentless preppers. You guys, wow. That's so much of what we need in this team. And the next thing is, he wants coaches that search for an edge over the competition. Excellent. Excellent, man. That's what we want in Carolina. He says he wants this team to be the best in everything. Mentally, physically, preparedness, everything. If we're going to be an 8-8 team, he wants us to be the best 8-8 team we can be. If we're going to be a 7-9 team, we're going to be the best 7-9 team. Ah, beautiful words. Beautiful words. And he wants to coach guys that want to be there. Amazing. Amazing. Now, y'all remember there were a few players that did not want to be here, and they got cut in our past so far. I'm not going to name any players' names, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But he wants players that want to be in Carolina. Yes! Yes, that is the mentality we need in Carolina. So, on to the Q&A. He was asked about Cam Newton, kind of dodged that a little bit. But he wants to really get to know the players first, and I appreciate that before he makes a decision. I respect and appreciate that. So, in a way, good answer. He was loyal to his players. He didn't throw them under the bus at Baylor. He didn't throw them under the tractor trailer, He was with them. Through the losses, through the wins. He was with them. And that, to me, says a lot about his character. So let's move on. He was demanding and accountable, but to himself first. What a line right there. What a line. That says all you need to know about this man right here. Yes! If you are accountable as a coach first, your players will be accountable to themselves. If you are demanding of yourself first, your players will follow. They will be demanding of themselves too. That is how you lead. You do what you have to do first. And set an example. The players will follow. He doesn't want to rush. He wants to get the right staff members. Good. Good answer, man. Good answer. Because I've seen a lot of coaches come in here and just immediately hire staff for other teams and stuff and be like, oh, well, this is the way we want to do things. Nah. And it never works out well. Take your time, And that's what he's doing. He's taking his time. He wants to hire the right people. He wants everybody in his staff that wants to win, that is willing and prepared to put in the work. I love this already. I love it so much. And he said, sustained success is being the best at everything. Yes. Yes, amen, Matt. This dude is preaching a sermon up there on that presser board. I'm telling you. Pass the collection plate. Oh, it's beautiful. Feels like Sunday morning up in here. He says that he wants long-term goals, and he wants to wake up every day and say, how can I further that goal towards the long-term goals? Yes. As a man that has an associate's degree in business, I understand this all too well. You got to set short-term goals, you got to set long-term goals, and that is part of life. You set goals in your life. And you wake up every day and you want to achieve those goals, and you got to make progress until you eventually reach those goals that you set long-term. I love his thinking. I love it. And he's not opposed to a veteran coordinator teaching him, how things go in the NFL. You'll spent 1 year in the NFL as a linebacker coach for the Giants during their Super Bowl year. So, and by the way, that team beat the New England Patriots. I just want to point that out. So, that in mind, this guy is the perfect choice to turn this team back around. Now, he stays with a certain team for a little bit, and then he moves on to the next one, resurrects it. I mean, he's just... as Shelley put it, the Mary Poppins of the NFL. I agree with him. I agree with him completely. He nailed it right on the head when he said that. Because you look at Temple, you look at Baylor, and he also did a stint in Western Carolina as well. And he recruited a bunch of people from the Carolinas during that time. So he knows the area. It's not new to him. His family wants him here. His kid wants him here. Well, all his kids want him here. So, we had the Roaring Riot welcoming him at that presser with a thundering keep pounding. Oh, it was beautiful. That's how you welcome in a new coach. That's how it's done, folks. Thank you so much for that. Man, that means the world to all of the fans and all the family of Matt Rhule, and to the entire organization. Like, the fact that y'all are there to support him right from day one, that sends a definite message from our fan base right there, that we have love for this family, we have love for anybody that comes in here, and we cannot wait to see what you can do. Thank you, Roaring Riot, for that. I want to shout you guys out in this video for that. You guys rock for that, man. Like, and I just feel like when you set a good example and you do the right things and you say the right things, good things will follow. I've had a chance to look at the coordinators that he wants to hire here. The defensive coordinator, let's start with that, is Snow from Temple, his former defense coordinator. And I don't know that much about him, but I do know that he really, really favors him. So, I support this decision for now. Let's see what he can do. And he wants the offensive coordinator from the Texans. Now, this offensive coordinator, you guys probably know his name, you can throw it down in the comments below. Because I don't remember it offhand, but I did my research on him. He has actually worked with Deshaun Watson, he's worked with Matthew Stafford, and he's worked with Eli Manning. He was a quarterback's coach up in New York, working with Eli Manning. He is an offense coordinator right now in the Texans, and I don't remember exactly what he did in Lions country, but I can tell you this much. He has worked with the RPO, the run pass option system, and knows it very, very well. That being said, if y'all remember, I mentioned the RPO before. And I wanted somebody that understood it and understood how it worked to run this offense properly. I don't know much about Matt Rhule's offensive scheme that he wants to run with the power running and everything. I don't know that is the best thing for us right now. I still suggest RPO for the most part. Just run the type of offense he was running in Baylor, and I feel like we'll immediately improve, and we'll start looking at different things. I've heard different things about him. I've heard that he likes to run it with the quarterback on a 2nd and 2. I've heard that he likes to run wide receivers even. So this is going to be an interesting experiment to see what he does offensively. I do know that it's been a while since Matt Rhule has actually run an offense, but rather let the players run it for him. Looking at old Baylor games and old Temple games, that's what I've noticed. I think that's a good fit for us. So the next step is to get those coordinators in place, and then we start looking at what players we want in the draft. And like I said, I've already got 4 videos planned for that. This video counts as the coaching update video, so that's crossed off the list out of the 5 that I already originally planned. Tepper said it came down to Matt Rhule and McDaniels from New England. And he chose Matt Rhule. And I'm so happy he did. After listening to what I just listened to in that presser just a few minutes ago, that started at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, that is just fantastic. Can y'all feel the winds of change, man? I felt those winds of change when Dabo got hired in Clemson. I'm feeling it right now in Carolina. I'm feeling it right now. And you know what that means. Great things are about to start happening in Carolina. That's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to like, sub, and hit that bell. And leave a comment if you feel so inclined to do so. If you don't, that's okay too. Don't forget to check out my old videos. They'll be down below, as well as the link in the description that will lead you to other videos. I don't believe that link is in there anymore now. But anyway, I'll be doing some editing here soon, so stay tuned for those last 4 videos that are coming in the next 3 weeks. Get excited, Carolina Nation! Matt Rhule! Keep pounding!